Next class, we are going to take Home Ec. Mr. Sagurero. Alright. Let's go. This is the last class on the list of classes to take. So I just need to take 6 of these and 2 tests. Oh, it's him. I've seen him before. I see we have some energetic young ones in our class this time around. You may call me Mr. Sagurero. Your time here with me will be spent obtaining knowledge and skills indispensable for daily life. Many of you have left the care of your parents to live here on your own in the academy dormitory. I pray that the knowledge I impart to you will improve the quality of your lives and the necessities thereof, food, clothing, and shelter. Of those 2 categories, I assume the most pressing and interesting for you all is food. When you eat sandwiches on your picnics, the HP of your party Pokemon will be restored. You will also gain something called meal powers, which can provide all manner of benefits. For example, these powers can make Pokemon easier to catch or increase the experience points that your Pokemon receive. I think you will also find that the breadth of these effects can be expanded by crafting sandwiches of superb flavor. What's more, there is a certain something that is particularly important if we wish to receive meal powers with even more helpful effects. Let me see, Miss Kiara, tell me, what must you keep in mind to receive even more helpful meal powers? My choice of fillings and condiments. Perfectly correct. Perhaps you are already aware of this fact from having helped your family with cooking at home. Your choice of ingredients, including both fillings and condiments, is an important factor in gaining even more helpful meal powers. For example, using sweet ingredients in your sandwiches may help you gain egg power. Including numerous bitter ingredients, on the other hand, can gain you item drop power. Learning to aim for specific effects when crafting sandwiches will almost certainly make your culinary endeavors most enjoyable. Please be aware, however, that you can also receive meal powers by eating at restaurants. I must say that I would feel the utmost joy if you all learned much here in my class and came to better understand home economics. Our time together has come to an end for today. I bid you all farewell. Home economics. I was wondering what EC stood for. I didn't even know what it stood for. I never took any class called economics when I went to school. Alright. Home ec number 2, Mr. Sagurero. Class will begin soon, don't be tardy. Put away your phones, it is time to begin class. In our last class, I believe we talked about the effects you can get from food on your picnics. You can receive meal powers and even restore HP for all the Pokemon in your party. It is a truly convenient means of healing your Pokemon. Unfortunately, as I'm sure you are aware, it is not suited for use in battles, when you cannot make food or when you wish to restore HP quickly. In times such as those, you should make use of healing items such as potions, which you can purchase from Pokemarts or the school store. Healing items are immediately effective and can be used any time that you open your bag. They are, however, consumed after one use. Potions restore 20 HP, Super Potions restore 60 HP, and Hyper Potions restore 120 HP. The pricier the item, the more HP it will restore. Keep in mind how much money you have when you are stocking up on these items. However, unforeseen happenings are an inextricable part of traveling from place to place. Imagine, if you will, the following scenario. You find yourself with injured Pokemon, but you have no potions, you are out of sandwich ingredients, and there are no Pokemon centers nearby. Tell me, Miss Kiara, what should you search for when in a perilous situation with no way to heal your Pokemon? Items on the ground? Perfectly correct. I see you are well learned in survival techniques. If you see something shiny on the ground, it is actually an item that has been dropped there. You may be able to find a restorative item such as an orange or a potion in this way. You can use the R button to send out your Pokemon to pick up such items as well. And then there are berries, of course. Berries, by the way, aren't like items from shops. If you let your Pokemon hold one, it will decide on its own when to eat the berry during battle. Letting your Pokemon decide this timing for itself can be quite interesting. At any rate, oh god, Arvin is in this class? I just noticed that. At any rate, if you find yourself in need of healing, I suggest that you look around for shining items on the ground. I mean, I guess it makes sense since he's the sandwich expert. If you can't find such items, there are other methods you may employ for healing your... but I see the bell demands the topic wait. Our time together has come to an end for today. I bid you all farewell. Arvin is the sandwich expert, so he knows best. I wonder if Saw Guerrero is going to talk about Herba Mystica in a class. Because that has a big thing to do with sandwiches. Especially for shiny Pokemon. Put away phones, it is time to begin class. In my last class, I taught about HP restoration. However, after class, I was asked by several of you about power points, commonly known as PP. When a Pokemon loses all its HP, it faints and can no longer battle. What then happens to Pokemon when it loses all of it? Okay, I can't say that. It can't use moves. Perfectly correct. Perhaps you know this from first-hand experience. When a Pokemon runs out of power points, it can no longer use its moves. However, each move has its own store of power points, so you can imagine... No, you could mitigate power points loss by using a variety of moves rather than just one move repeatedly. If a Pokemon loses all power points for all its moves, it will only be able to use Struggle, an action that also damages the Pokemon that uses it. In order to avoid this predicament, power points can be restored at Pokemon centers along with HP. Items such as Ethers, Max Ethers, can also be used to restore PP. Be careful not to confuse potions with Ethers in the heat of battle. However, Ethers are not sold at shops, so you should use them judiciously if you find them. The stronger the move, the lower its maximum power points. Do not waste uses of these moves unless you wish to quickly run out of power points. It is important to find balance in a Pokemon set of moves. As you can see, HP isn't the only thing you must keep an eye on while adventuring with Pokemon. I hope that you will all continue to ensure that your partner Pokemon can perform at its best as you engage in the treasure hunt. Our time together has come to an end today. Our next meeting will be an examination day. Be sure to review well in preparation. Alright. That's another topic I knew about. HP and the other one. Alright. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this test. Home ec. Home economic. It's crazy. The only class I had trouble with was math. And in real life, that's my best subject. But in Pokemon World, it is not. The time has come to test how well you all have learned here in my class. Let's begin before the information simmering in your brains from a last-minute cram session fades. Which is not an effect of a picnic meal. Not an effect. Increasing speed. Which of the following affects the kinds of meal powers received from a particular meal? Affects the kind of meal powers received from a particular meal. The color of the utensils, totally. Feeling and condiments. Which of these berries can restore Pokemon's HP? Leandro wanted his Pokemon to decide on its own when to use its item in battle, so he gave it an Oranberry. This will work, as he hopes. True. Decide on its own, yep. If a move runs out of power points, it can no longer be used. If a Pokemon runs out of power points while it moves, they can only sit there in frustration. False. It uses a move called Struggle. I hope you were all able to give the examination everything you had. Please remember to ask for your scores at the front desk before leaving for the day. Will do. Five out of 5. Pass and score. Thank you. Alright. 3 more classes. Come on. We got 3 more classes. And then the test. And then I would have graduated the school in my first day of being here. Just kidding. It's not my first day anymore. It's like my 7th day. Put away your phones. It is time to begin class. Though some of you had to retake the midterm exam multiple times, I am glad to say that the majority of the class passed without issue. I feel honored to see that the knowledge and skills indispensable for daily life have taken root in all of you. I trust that you will all work just as hard on your life skills in the second half of our course as well. Let us now turn our attention to the topic of the day, which was inspired by a question I received on the subject of meal powers. The student who asked this question is a young man who enjoys the culinary arts. He tells me that he regularly researches culinary techniques on his own and pays careful attention to the ingredients he uses. He also spends day and night studying all aspects of the culinary arts. Yet, despite this, he is baffled by his inability to increase the effectiveness of his meal powers. So tell me, Miss Kiara, since you did quite well on your midterm exam, what should this young man do to increase the effectiveness of his meal powers? Arvin? Let's see. Due to increase the effectiveness of his meal powers? I'm just gonna say this. Arvin? I cannot disclose the identity of the certain male student who enjoys the culinary arts. It may very well be Arvin, but it may not be. To increase the effectiveness of meal powers, your sandwiches must be filled with many different ingredients. For a single person, this may prove difficult, but if you prepare a sandwich with others, you will be able to handle a larger serving of bread. With a large base to start with, it becomes quite simple to add more ingredients to your sandwich, which in turn makes it possible to receive meal powers of increased effectiveness. This applies more broadly as well. When dealing with a difficult issue, working with others to solve that issue may be the best course of action. I'm sure that Arvin will likewise work with friends to craft the sandwiches in the future. Look at the face. The identity of the male student is a matter of privacy, so I will ask that you do not pry too deeply. Our time together has come to an end for today. I bid you all farewell. I'm just like, Arvin? There's a certain male student who loves the culinary arts. Alright. Don't be tardy. I'll try. I'll try my hardest to not be tardy. Put away your phones, it's time to begin class. While you're out performing field work with one of your Pokemon walking alongside you, have you ever noticed changes in its coloration? Now, I don't mean that it suddenly becomes a shiny Pokemon or any nonsense like that. I'm speaking of it becoming filthy. Pokemon battle, they get hurt by moves used against them. They get battered by wind and rain. They get covered in sand and mud. They get, in a word, filthy. I have seen many a trainer walking about with their adorable little Pokemon without addressing this issue. It is deplorable. Let me ask this question of someone who I am sure will not tolerate such shameful conduct. Ah, yes, Miss Kiara. What should you do if your Pokemon is dirty? Clean it up? Perfectly correct. I know I could count on you to provide me with such an answer. When your Pokemon are dirty, clean them. This is, of course, simply common sense. While you are having a picnic, you can approach the Pokemon on your team and perform a variety of actions. One such action is putting them through what I like to call the Pokemon wash. In other words, you are able to clean them up. You start by getting your sponge lathered up with soapy bubbles as you gently and carefully scrub your Pokemon. Once Pokemon is nice and covered in soapy bubbles, the bubbles will encapsulate the filth, then you simply wash it away with a spray of water. This will get your Pokemon clean and shining bright as Terra Jewel. It is certainly quite a bit of work, but this will also restore HP and cure status conditions. However, some Pokemon may have parts of their bodies that they don't want to be scrubbed, or they would rather not get wet. Be sure to keep this in mind when cleaning your Pokemon. Now, the most important point that I must mention is that some Pokemon like to be dirty. Though I will contradict myself by saying this, please do remember that cleaning your Pokemon is not always the kind of thing to do. Okay, some Pokemon like to be dirty. That's weird. That is very, very weird. Alright, one more class. Put away phones, it's time to begin our last class together. Home economics is the study of life's necessities, but looking back on our time together, I realized that I focus almost entirely on food. I hope it is not too late to shift to a discussion of clothing, another necessity in our last class. As I'm sure you are aware, our academy has an air of freedom about it. We provide uniforms for each season to accommodate the diverse climate of Paldea. However, students are free to wear whichever style they wish, whenever they please. You should all have received 4 sets of tops and bottoms, one each for spring, summer, fall, and winter when the academy accepted you. If by chance you were not aware of this, you may wish to peruse your wardrobe. As long as you wear a school uniform, the rest of your ensemble need not be school issued. This includes your bag or your hat if you choose to wear one. You are even free to style your hair however you wish. Mr. Salvatore's hairstyle, for example, would almost certainly have been against school rules when he was a boy, or when I was a boy. That reminds me, there's one more thing you all like to decorate, which I must say I find quite charming. Sorry, I had to cough. There's one more thing. Yeah. Are Rotom phones? Perfectly correct. That's the adorable little thing I was speaking of. Oh, it interests me so. I must admit that I'm fascinated by Rotom phones and how to customize them. What's that? How very intriguing. So there's a shop called Daily Word Presents where you can purchase cases for your Rotom phones. I thank you for that useful bit of information. I shall have to go myself first thing tomorrow to get an adorable case for my own liking. Forgive me, I seem to have gotten a little carried away with the small talk. Ahem. As this class known as Home Economics nears its end, I offer these final words to you who have been honing everyday life skills with me. My field of study is not so decisive as the likes of mathematics, for instance, where test scores might play a part in deciding your future. However, as you go on to cook for yourselves, to take care of your Pokemon, to decide what to wear in the morning when you awaken, I'll be honored if what I have taught you serves to smoothen out to enrich your lives, even if only a little. This sentiment was imparted to me by Mr. Hassel and his particular outlook on such matters. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for seeing this class through to the end. Our time together has come to a close for today. Prepare to do your best on your final exam. I'm ready for it. Let's do this. I am ready for it. The time has come to test how well you all have learned in my class. Let's begin before the information simmering in your brains from a last-minute cram session fades. Which of the following meal powers makes it easier to come across shiny Pokemon? To come across shiny Pokemon? Encounter power? I don't think it's sparkling power. Did we learn this? Did we even learn this? I don't even know. I'm gonna put encounter. I don't remember if sparkling was the one I wanted for a shiny Pokemon. I don't remember. Which of the following is not an effect of an egg power? It helps hatch strong Pokemon. What is a simple yet important tactic for increasing the effectiveness of meal powers? Make food with others. What is the correct action to take when your adorable Pokemon become dirty? Pokemon wash? This is a question about Academy rules, so do you change uniform tops and bottoms to properly match each season? It doesn't matter. The time for answering questions has come to an end. Please stop writing. I made the questions a little easier than I'd planned to, as a way of saying thank you for informing me about real-time phone cases. I trust that you all gave this exam everything you had, so that you will not have to retake it. Please remember to ask for your scores at the front desk before leaving for the day. I might have gotten that first question wrong, just because I don't remember what it was called to help with shiny Pokemon. I don't think it was called sparkling, but I don't know. Yeah, it was probably called sparkling. It's fine. I still passed first try, so I'm cool with that. You have now finished all of your classes and passed all of their exams. I have this for you, from Director Clavel. Okay. Now you can focus all your efforts on this year's treasure hunt. Be careful out there. That was it. That was it. That was it. All of those classes took 3 hours in total. All of those classes and their tests took 3 hours. I was really hoping it'd only take 2, but the classes actually got longer. Some of them were actually longer than I thought. Alright then. Well, I'd say it's about time for me to call it an episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Come back next time. I will start shiny hunting. So that is sure to be ridiculous and crazy. Anyways, I will see you guys next time for more Pokemon Violet. Alright then. So, let's start shiny hunting. Yeah, I don't really know much about sandwiches and whatnot. So I don't know how that's gonna work out. But what I looked up online is I am going to be looking for those what is it called? Those what are they called? I don't even remember what they're called. Where the Pokemon is like... Oh, Massive Outbreak. I'll be looking for those. So, like, if there's a Pokemon on the map here, then that's the shiny Pokemon I should go for. So, if there's a Mass Outbreak, and I have my Shiny Charm on me, then we'll try to get those shiny Pokemon. So yeah, let's put like, I don't know, an hour into shiny hunting, maybe half an hour, depending on what I feel like. So the way I'm going to do this is, I looked previously Hold on, where am I going? I saw someone on YouTube finding a shiny Pokemon. And what they did is send out their Pokemon, you know, in the Let's Go mode. They sent out the Pokemon to fight on its own a lot. A lot. And they just had to, like, battle a bunch of Pokemon in Let's Go mode. So Meowscarada is incapable of doing it on the water, but Palmot is. So what Palmot will do was go battle a bunch of Pokemon, and we have to count them up to like 60. Was it 60? I think it was 60. Before we could even like come across a shiny. So it's kind of ridiculous, but we're going for it. 4. That was number 4. 5. 6. And if I'm just watching Palmot closely, if it doesn't attack a Pokemon, then that's a shiny. God, there's a lot of Wattrel. It's raining now? Okay. It's weird. I think that was 7. Could be off by 1, but we'll just go from 7. 8. Look at all these Wattrel, oh my god. Come on, Palmot, you could do it. Okay, you're going after this one, sure. 9. 10. Where did they go? What? They just disappeared. Excuse me? Oh my god, they literally just disappeared. Nine, 10? I think that was 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. Go get it. You could do it. 15. 16. 17. Oh my god, this is gonna take a while. Go get it. 18. 19. 20. 21. 22. 23. God, there's so much. Okay, that's 23. 24. 25. 26. 27. 28. This is a lot. 29. 30. 31. 32. 33. 34. 35. 36. 37. Oh god. That one almost ran into me. 38. 39. 40. 41. Okay, he's swimming. He's going after it. 42. 43. 44. I hope I'm doing this right. 45. 46. What does this shiny even look like? 47. 48. 49. 50. 51. 52. 53. 'Oh god, I didn't mean to run into it. We're at 54. Sure, let's just do that. Just like, sure. Wow, it used quick attack and it was still faster than me? Okay. Oh, jeez. Okay, fine. Get out of here. Hopefully running away from one doesn't completely wreck the battle combo we got going on. That was 55. Here's 56. 57. 58. 59. And one more. We're supposed to hit 60, right? And then I think we should have an easier time to find one. It's not like a guaranteed, but it's an easier time to find one. I don't even know what they look like. I'm scared if I keep hitting more, then I will run out of Pokemon, because I think there is a limit to how many Pokemon could appear in mass outbreaks. I think I heard that there's a limit. Let me see. Here, I'm gonna have to look up what all of these shiny Pokemon even look like. So I hit 60, possibly 61. So it should have a high chance, or a better chance. Shiny Watrel. Okay, I don't think it has that big of a difference. It's gonna be hard to see.